Welcome to Eagle's tutorial on how to use the Michigan Water Infrastructure Financing Map. This map is meant for general information about projects funded through the Clean Water State Revolving Fund and Drinking Water State Revolving Fund. The project locations are meant to give a general location of where work is being done and not a specific site. When clicking the link to the page, the user is welcomed with this splash screen, giving information on the app, along with links and phone numbers to the specific programs it showcases. The links on the splash screen are provided to display more information or help with additional program questions. Once the user has read the screen, they can click on the OK button at the bottom right to remove the splash screen and utilize the app. The app displays a map of the state of Michigan, along with information on funded projects. The title bar at the top of the screen contains the same links provided in the splash screen and can be clicked anytime while using the application. By clicking and holding the left mouse button, you can move around the map to find a specific project or location. The plus/minus buttons at the top left of the screen are used to zoom in and out. The zoom in and out function can also be utilized by using the scroll wheel on the mouse. When navigating around the map, the small map on the bottom left of the screen shows a larger area for context. This is meant to keep a sense of where the user is located on the map when zoomed in. When a project is clicked, a pop-up appears giving details of the project. Items such as location, loan amount, award date, contacts, affected political districts, and a description of the project are available to peruse through. When done looking at a particular project, hit the X at the top right of the pop-up to minimize it. The top right of the map has 6 buttons that each serve a specific function. When first opening the application, the About button is open by default. The About tab provides the information that was initially shown on the splash screen, along with explaining the functions and icons of the web application. After reading through the directions, let's try them out, starting with the legend. The legend lays out 2 types of projects shown on the map. The blue diamonds represent projects funded by the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund, and the green circles represent projects funded by the Clean Water State Revolving Fund. The gray outlines display the 83 counties in Michigan. The second button displays the layers on the map. The 2 layers listed are the Water Infrastructure Funding layer and the Counties layer. By default, both are turned on. By unchecking the box, you can turn off either layer. Turning off the Counties layer could make the map easier to read by removing all of the county lines and titles, but it would make it harder to place the projects geographically. Turning off the Water Infrastructure Financing layer removes all of the projects, so it's recommended to leave this layer alone. The third button allows the user to change the base map appearance. The default setting is called Imagery, and all of the font colors and borders are optimized to look the best and to be seen clearest with this background. However, imagery with labels, light gray canvas, and streets are available if you like the additional perspective they provide. Switching to one of these base maps after already zooming into a project you would like to look at can add further details. The fourth button gives the ability to print the map. The default setting creates a PDF which will appear in the open box when it is done. From there, it can be opened and saved. The fifth button is the About button, which we discussed initially and is the default when the web application is opened. The sixth button is the Query tool. This feature allows the users to look up projects based on the legislative districts they are in or by the fiscal year in which they were awarded. The Affected Legislative Districts query is particularly helpful because the locations of the projects on the map are approximate and often cover large areas. Just because a project does not appear to be in a particular district does not mean that that project district is not affected. The pop-up boxes for each particular project list the affected districts individually, but the query bundles up any projects in a particular district to view at once. To use the query, click on the one you would like. In this demonstration, we will start with the Affected Legislative Districts query because it is at the top. When the Affected Legislative Districts query is selected, a query criteria box appears and a space to type the district appears. Examples of how to type in the districts are shown beneath the text box. Please only search one district at a time. When a district is entered, the user can either hit Enter on the keyboard or click the Apply button at the bottom of the query tool. A list is then populated under the Results tab, and the information that shows up in the pop-up of each project appears. If more than one project is in an affected district, they can be viewed by scrolling down through all of the results. The map will also zoom in and highlight the affected projects with a translucent square. Clicking on any of the projects shown in the Results tab will also automatically zoom to the project on the map. To do an additional search on the new legislative district, hit the Tasks tab at the top of the query tool, type in a new district, and hit Enter or Apply. To return to the query tool main screen, hit the Back button below the Tasks tab. The second query allows to search by fiscal year a project was awarded. The state of Michigan's fiscal year starts October 1st and ends September 30th the following year. Thus, a project awarded in December of 2020 would actually be in fiscal year 2021. Currently, the map contains all projects that have been awarded since fiscal year 19. Projects are typically awarded 4 times a year, so the map will be updated accordingly whenever new projects begin. Once the fiscal year awarded query is selected, a box to enter a year appears. Like the affected legislative district query, examples of how to enter information are shown below in the text box. In this case, for fiscal year 2019, simply put 19, or for 2020, type 20. When a fiscal year is typed in, hit Enter on the keyboard or hit the Apply button. All of the projects that were awarded in this fiscal year now appear in a list that can be scrolled through. The applicable projects are also identified on the map by a translucent blue circle. If any of the projects in the Results tab are clicked on the map, we'll zoom into that project. To get back to the main screen, hit the Tasks tab and then the back arrow. We hope this tutorial has been helpful in learning to navigate the water infrastructure financing map. The map will be updated as new projects are awarded.